everyone, we are back for the 4th episode of Spaces Uncovered. We had quite the plot twist this time around with the nominations. I'm always super inspired by our industry's creativity and just general spirit. But I'm very happy to announce our designer feature for this episode. Her name is Jay Arvin, and she's with us on behalf of Westbank Developments. A lot of us know Westbank Developments has a diverse portfolio, and this time around we will be featuring their head office here in Vancouver. Jay has been with Westbank for 4 years, and she played a major role in the development and design of this office. And so I'm very excited to be uncovering that story with her today. Welcome to Spaces Uncovered, Jay.
Thank you so much, Alexa. Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course, my absolute pleasure. So I'd love to learn about how you ended up working at Westbank Developments.
Well, it's been quite a journey. I would say quite a long journey. During my undergrad, I had enrolled into the computer science program, and just a year into it, I realized that this was not something that I wanted to do long term. And luckily, I came across this brochure for interior design program, so I enrolled into that as well, and I did that alongside my undergrad. And then came the challenge of finding my first break. So I came to Canada in 2004, the same year I got married. And I still remember those days when I would carry this giant portfolio in my hand and I would go to different design firms just seeking that first opportunity and getting that first break. Lucky enough, I got in very quickly, and after working at an interior design firm for over 12 years, I decided to do something on my own and moved on. And then there came an opportunity with Westbank, and I gave it a shot, and here I am since, and I'm absolutely loving it.
That's an incredible journey, and you know, it sounds like you really are the perfect fit for Westbank.
Thank you so much.
So I wanted to ask as well, what do you find is the biggest difference between working at a traditional design firm and a large development company like Westbank?
That's a great question. I think the one thing that separates a large development firm from a lot of other traditional firms is that the founders are visionaries. They value beauty at a foundational level. They appreciate it in the arts, the beauty, the architecture, even business. They see it as one unit. So what that means is companies such as Westbank is very open and receptive to making changes at any given stage of the project. And of course, I get to work with a lot of star architects every once in a while, such as King Akuma and Pirula Sony, which to me is such an honor, and alongside all the other talented people in the industry. And I get to do that every day at work, right? And I learn a lot from each one of them.
That's incredible. I mean, not many people can say that they've worked alongside Ken Akuma, so that is
yes.
Very, very cool. Why did Ian Gillispie decide to initiate this project for the Westbank head office?
For a while, our teams were distanced by floors and building even. So when a space as large as 18,000 square feet came available, it just made sense for us to move in there quickly. And also, like, the lease in one of our Burnaby buildings was up for renewal at the time. So what that meant was we had to, finish the renovation in less than 4 months, and from start to finish, and at a very tight timeline and a very tight budget.
Wow, yeah, 4 months turnaround is crazy. That's impressive. You could work towards that. Now, what were the main objectives that drove the design intent for the project?
Oh, that's my favorite question. The primary goal was to create an environment where people would want to be around, and the way the space feels is part of it, interiors included. And a lot goes into that, such as the music, the dogs, the people's personas, and the lighting temperature, the mechanical system, fitness program, I mean, all of it. And it all adds up to making the space inspiring and comfortable, and you want and you feel like coming in. We working from the office throughout this pandemic is a testament to that, and that we feel that we've achieved the objectives set forth here in a very safe and comfortable way.
No, that I think that's so important. It sounds like you've put so much thought and detail into every single aspect of design to create a holistic experience. And that's why people are working from the office. It shows. Are you able to describe what this space looked like before the renovations, and what were some of the major design changes that you define as a priority for the space?
Of course. Our office is located in one of the prime locations of downtown with incredible views of the water and the mountains. So at first, when we saw the space with all these full height walls, I mean, it just didn't make sense because it was all blocking all the views. So the first step was to take down most of the walls and create as much open space as possible. Speaking of the design, I'm a true believer of the right lighting, and it all starts with lighting to create that inspiring and comfortable moment. So when you walk in our elevator lobby, I call it as a first impression space, and you would notice that there's zero lighting in the ceiling. We lit up the space by LED panels on the walls, and it's just not a light source. It also is an ability to control the content in a very flexible and economical way by changing out the graphics. It's an excellent branding opportunity for us. And then you walk into the reception, and initially the space was very dark. So we opened it up by creating this glass atrium that would look through like a peephole through the boardroom, and then beyond you would see the views. And it is so beautiful that you almost want to say wow, because it's very, very refreshing. On the other side of the reception, you funnel through the circulation space, and we didn't want to feel like a corridor. So we had this long, extra long table where people would collaborate, and by using just simple reflective material, we were able to amplify the whole experience. And it's the most used space in our office, and people absolutely love it.
Wow, no, that's incredible. This home away from home, it feels so glamorous and luxurious. Often with prestigious villas or celebrity homes, you hear about these like rotating bookshelves that open up this lounge space, or there's these secret wine rooms. Is there anything unexpected like that in this office that you'd be willing to share with us?
Of course. Oh yes, and we call this as a couture room on our 5th floor office. And Ian is a huge collector of art and vintage fashion. And this room was designed to collect all his art and his fashion. And this is a room where he would host his special guests. And it's been designed in a way such that he can have a proper virtual meeting or even a casual chat on his 20-foot long onyx table.
Amazing. Everyone needs a 20-foot long onyx table for
Yes.
meetings. For this office project, it sounds like you invested a lot of your design budget in that front entry reception space to really create a transformational experience. This space, it was a beacon to attract employees and guests to your space. What advice would you give someone who is trying to engage people through a memorable first impression?
For sure. An entrance becomes a mirror to a company. This is a place where you convey your brand, you convince your abilities, and you also show that you care. So the first impression is quite important, and just like you want to do your best in front of your future employer and look the best. And the reception to an office should be designed in a way that it would impress your client, your tenant, your prospects, and employees even. As humans, in an event of misunderstanding, like we always turn to words to make ourselves understood, and we get a second chance. But what about a space? How would a space get that first good impression? And I'm a firm believer that your lobbies, your entrances, and your washrooms, if you can design those spaces to speak for themselves, what would they say and how would they say it? It should be like, I enter this building and I see this room and I'm instantly feeling it, right? And if you can, so yeah, I mean, like if you can get that first impression that inspires someone, then just know that you've done it right and set that purposeful impact for the given space.
That's beautifully said, and I like what you said about the entry is a mirror of your brand. I think that's very well said, wise words. I did have the pleasure of being toured by you last year in your space. I think I was a couple of weeks into my role, and it's basically the only office I've been to since COVID because of lockdowns. But I was so inspired by your tour because every single thought and detail that you put into every aspect of design and tie it to the arts and culture, I was fascinated by, and I wanted to tell the world the story, but it wasn't my story to tell. And so I'm glad that there's this platform now, and you could reveal that story and bring it to light.
I'm so glad I could do this. Thank you so much, Alexa.
That's it for episode 4, folks. Typically, I say to be sure to smash that like button, but this time I'm going to say be sure to smash that bell icon at the top right corner of your YouTube video. And if you're watching this on LinkedIn or on Instagram, if you liked the episode, maybe leave a comment. That would be amazing. Until next time, thanks.